Here we are in Ghost of Tsushima, and I'm going to give you the top 4 armor sets in the game along with the locations and how to get them. There's a lot of different armor sets. I believe there's like 10 besides the one that you start with, and each of them are beneficial in their own way. So I brought the top armor sets down to the best offensive armor, the best stealth armor, the best ranged armor, and what I think is the best all-around one, and that's the one that I use the most. That way you can find the best armor according to your playstyle. So first up, we have Gosaku's armor as my top offensive armor, and to get it you need to complete the Unbreakable Gosaku Mythic Tale, which can be found in Act 2 in Toyotama in Tsushima Island, and it's given by a musician just south of Akashima Village. You'll be given the locations of 6 keys and have to go fetch those keys, and then it'll eventually take you to the armor. If you're more of an aggressive player, I think this one's great because it breaks through the enemy's defenses a lot easier by increasing Jin's stagger damage, and then once you defeat that staggered enemy, you gain some health back. And then on top of that, it also increases your overall health. So it's a pretty good armor that I use quite a bit, but honestly that's mostly just because it looks cool. Next up we have the Ghost Armor, which a lot of people seem to be interested in, and it's acquired by just playing through the story. Eventually in Act 2 you'll get the From the Darkness story quest, and that's where you'll obtain it. The reason that this armor is so good is because it reduces the amount of kills that you need to get without being hit to get your ghost stance. You also gain ghost stance from assassination kills, so if you pair this up with the armor's ability, that makes it harder to get detected. It's a pretty good stealth armor because it allows you to easily gain that ghost stance, and then also the ability to terrify nearby enemies. I'd say in terms of stealth, the only armor that competes with this one is the Ronin attire that you get from also a story mission called Blood on the Grass. Next up is the best ranged armor, which is Tadayori's Armor. This one wasn't tough to pick because it's literally the only armor focused on ranged attacks. You'll get this armor by completing another mythic tale called the Legend of Tadayori. You can get it by speaking to a musician west of Azamo foothills in Act 1. You'll have to find a violet crown, which is found in a search area just north of Azamo, which I found on the east side of that search area on top of one of the mountain peaks. And beside the incense, you'll find a map there to Tadayoris Rest, which is just north of the location where we found this. So just head north over the river, and it's found in Hourens Pasture. You'll find a mountain wall with a little cave entrance you can crawl into, and then just follow that path until you get to the cemetery, which has Tadayoris Rest in it. After observing the 3 tombstones, you'll have an interaction, and then can head over to the south end of the map to free the musician and get Tadayoris Armor. Tadayoris Armor is actually really good if you like using a bow because it increases the knocking and reload speed, and then also increases the total concentration time while allowing headshots to refill that concentration meter. So if you're accurate with concentration and get headshots, you can keep your concentration going for a while you take out groups of enemies. Last but not least is my personal favorite, the Kensei Armor. This is the best armor in the game in my opinion. I can see you saying the other ones are the best because those are also really good, but with the Kensei Armor it's just all around really good, and that's partly because of its first perk, which increases your resolve gain, which means you get to heal more and perform more special attacks. But really one of the best parts is the insane buff that it does to the ghost weapons like the kunai or sticky bomb for example. It increases your damage with those and also makes it so that once an enemy is hit by a ghost weapon, they'll deal less damage to you and you'll deal more damage to them. The only downside is if you're in a situation where you can't use ghost weapons. And to get the Kensei Armor, you need to complete the 6 Blades of Kojiro Mythic Tale, which is given to you by a musician at Umugi Cove at the southwest portion of the map in Act 2, where you have to complete 6 of the probably hardest duels in the game, and all of them will be marked on your map so you don't gotta look for them. Just go prepared. But that's pretty much it. Make sure you leave your favorite armor along with any additional tips down in the comments. See ya.